I love this song. All right. We are live on YouTube as well. Give me those hearts. Give me those hearts. What do we got? Team Harris. What's up, Yummy? What's up, Sifu? What's up? Love. There's the hearts. There's the hearts. All right. All right. All right. What are we talking about tonight? Who's got questions on love, on relationships? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? What's up, Ari? Hi, loves. You guys, it's been a day. It has been a day. My Confidence for Camera challenge is so much fun. I am having such a blast. I am loving everybody in the challenge. Shout out to anybody who is in here, who is in the challenge, because y'all are fucking badasses. Just straight up. Just straight up. I literally, I don't think I've had so much fun in such a long time. I can't wait. I cannot wait till I hit day 5. It's so fun. It's so fun. Helping everybody get confident so they can be on camera so that then they can be the leaders helping everyone around the world with their gifts. I'm so inspired by everybody. You don't even feel like dating. You're in a funk. Let's get you out that funk, girl. Let's get you out that funk. Let's shuffle while we get you out your funk. I don't think I cleared this yet. All right. So if you are new, give some hearts if you're new. I see a lot of same faces, same faces. What is the challenge? It's Confidence for Camera challenge, 5-day challenge. Anybody who's been holding themselves back, I have found so many people who have amazing gifts who are still holding themselves back from being on camera to help grow their business and build a bigger business and step up as being those really amazing, powerful leaders that they are on a bigger level. That's like the whole world is changing to everything digital. So whether it's like business or dating, everything's got to be on camera. But I'm loving the leaders that are in this group. I am loving their gifts. I'm loving what they do, what they're up to doing more of. Some of them are just starting their businesses. Some of them are expanding their businesses. I am so blown away. And everybody has like this inner conversation of, perfectionism or I don't know, what are people going to think of me or say or whatever. And so that stops the flow of success. And we're getting right over that. Kiko, brother, and Kiko jumped on today to share some amazing wisdom and breath of work and some amazing gifts that they love and they're so grateful for. All right. Hi, my brother. Love you so much, boo. So tonight we're going to do Sacred Rebels deck. We're for sure going to do questions on love, on relationships, spiritual awareness. What's the vibe right now? What's the main thing coming up for you? Perfectionism. I know it all too well. Girl, I didn't get over my shit. There's still days. There's still be days that little perfectionism Patty shows up. Why does it look like things are flying through my house? That's weird. You guys, the energy recently, I've been seeing more things out of the corner of my eye, but the energy, who here feels like for a minute, like we reached like a calm, like there's like a good calm going and we might build some things up. I don't know, but right now, like it feels a little bit calm. How are you guys doing? Mars retrograde is very interesting so far. What's that mean, boo? What does that mean? Kiko, I love your hearts. Boo, boo. I love it. Just so much. And I'm just shuffling these as we're kind of, keeping this conversation open about love and relationships. So then and spiritual awareness and whatever we want to talk about. Just did a Netflix marathon. Okay, interesting. I watched oh my gosh, I keep forgetting. You guys have to watch this. It's so fascinating. What is it? I have so many things going through my brain today. The social dysfunction. Like, what is it? The social distinction, the social something. Kiko, didn't I tell you about it? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's basically how social media is affecting us on a mental health level, but how it's also spreading this like false information on stuff because everybody can jump on here. So here, all right, I'm gonna rant for a second, okay? Because like as leaders, if you see yourself as a leader, as a practitioner, as someone who would like to help people, whether that's in business, relationships, whatever, and you're stepping in or are in that position, or whether you are an influencer, then to a certain extent, there is a responsibility to be a truth seeker. This is just my perspective, okay? So I'm just gonna rant on what I believe could be, should be. I'm gonna use the word should. For real, gonna use the word should. Teely Dubs, we were just talking about this in our membership calls. So my little rant about this is because I consider myself a truth seeker, okay? Give some hearts if you consider yourself a truth seeker. And what I mean by that is a truth seeker, not what I'm calling a tabloid reader. And what I mean by that is like, you know, like the Star magazines and like all the trash stuff, okay? And I am, full transparency, okay, I will go down many conspiracy rabbit holes. I will be the first one to admit that I will dive all the way down and be like, ooh, that's fascinating. Ooh, that's fascinating. Okay. I'll read a tabloid or two when it comes to that. Now, we still have to do our big fat word, due diligence, big fat word, other D word, discernment for this social dilemma that we have going on, because I am seeing people making videos, right? This is where the whole like false news, right? Fake news, right? And all of that is coming from, because like just the other day, okay, this is true story, 100% true story. I've been hearing, have you guys been hearing about this, that the Schumann resonance flatlined? Who's heard that one? Who read that article in the trash magazine, in the tabloid magazine called Social Media right now? Who heard the one that the Schumann resonance flatlined? Give me some yeses if you're like, oh my God, I heard that one too. Okay, do you guys know what? Yes, what the fuck? Yes, exactly. So the Schumann resonance is the Earth's, like it's the energy of the earth, right? It's the tone, it's testing my knowledge at 7.83 hertz, I think, something like that. Okay, I'm even not super, right? So if I'm even as a truth seeker, like I don't know all of the information. Sounds intense, exactly. I'm happy that this one hopefully got squashed, but I saw a couple other videos and people are like, oh my God, the Schumann resonance flatlined, you guys. The Schumann resonance didn't flatline, okay? It didn't flatline. It can't flatline. It's not possible to flatline. So as a truth seeker, I'm like, wow, that's an interesting one. And it spiked for a split second. It was like, oh, wait, what? That intensity, which gets you emotionally hooked. That's a hook. That's a fucking manipulation. Okay, we have to, in that moment, anything that spikes an emotional trigger, that should be our indication to be like, oh, wait, let me use discernment real super quick before I become so fucking gullible that it's, instead of being a truth seeker, I'm a tabloid follower, social media tabloid follower. That's what we should be calling it right now. Okay. I called up my dear friend who studies the vibration of the Earth's magnetic field. He's my friend from Sedona. He studied the vortexes, literally like scientifically, hooked up his computer, hooked up all of this cool like technology to literally study the subtle energies of the Earth. I'm like, if anybody's gonna know, my home slice is gonna know. Call him up. What is going on, dude? With like, I'm hearing this whole thing about the Schumann resonance. What are they talking about? What is going on? Why is everybody posting a video about, oh my God, the Schumann resonance flatlined? He's like, yes, I heard that too. I had to correct plenty of people. The Schumann resonance has not flatlined. It will never flatline. I'm like, what are they talking about? So he sends me the article, and sure as shit, yes, there's this picture of the measuring, right? It looks like an energy field, right? Spikes of energy, and then all of a sudden flatline. Okay. and it's the Schumann resonance. He has been studying the Schumann resonance for over 20 years for MIT. He's like, it has never flatlined. Not ever. It won't. It's the energy of the planet. It's the vibration of the planet. I don't even know what would happen. Like, I don't think it's like gravity, but like, would we just like float off if it flatlined? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we would all somehow turn into like minute particles, or I don't know. Don't make that up. Don't make up some other tabloid thing of whatever, but like really like something really gnarly. Like we would fly off the planet if the Schumann resonance flatlined, because it was something like it flatlined for like 52 hours. That was the rumor. He's like, no, it doesn't. It's an energetic, I think he called it an energetic, like there's energy winds. So just like when you get a gust of wind, then the energy, if it's spiking, you get a gust of wind and it flatlines it for a second. And then it goes back to spiking. So it looks like the energy of the planet flatlined. And really, it was an energetic gust of fucking wind. That's really what happened. Okay. So do basic research. I'm not saying everybody has a cool friend in Sedona that understands this stuff, but do your own research on this stuff, because there's people spreading social media tabloid stuff that's like, it's getting everybody like excited and it's not accurate. And then it just makes you look unintelligent. That's my rant. Okay. So I say that with a loving heart, meaning as a leader, as a teacher, if that's who you see yourself to be, I feel like there's a moral responsibility to spend a little bit of an extra time to do your own research. And even if you're not, before you share it with people, and even if you're not, do your own research. The things that you hear online, do your own research to be like, Schumann resonance flatlined. If that spikes, like I said, some sort of emotional, that is your indication to do your own due diligence and use discernment. Okay. Double D. Double down on your double D's on that. Okay. Discernment and due diligence. Name of the game. Because otherwise we're just all gullible. Because everybody's got an opinion right now and it doesn't mean it's right. So we need to be more truth seekers. Can I get some hearts on this? Be more of a truth seeker than a tabloid follower. Yes. Okay. No matter what it is. And please, if I like, again, I will do always my best. I will never share anything that I haven't either done my research about, experienced myself, or feel like I am a decent expert on. That's my commitment, because that's my level of integrity. And if I ever say anything that maybe I might get wrong, I don't know, I might mess up totally, then by all means, send me a message and be like, hey, that was a little off. And I will be the first to correct it. Okay. But I almost fell for it. I was like, oh my God, the Schumann resonance, is that even possible? Oh my God, what would that mean? And da-da-da. And I went right. And I'm like, oh, Sarah, don't get caught in that. It almost caught me. So like I said, do your own, don't be the gullible, right? We listen, we have access to hearing so many different things that opinion doesn't make it truth. We gotta you gotta know what's true within you and then go and double check to somebody who's smarter than you. If you're not asking somebody who's smarter than you, don't just take what anybody says, because it may not be true. And then you're going to go spread stuff and be like, oh my God, did you guys hear the Schumann resonance flatline for 52 hours? And if it's BS, then it just makes everybody look stupid. Just makes everybody, right? So, because you're pushing out information that's like not accurate. Does that feel like... If you have a personal experience with something, by all means, then be like, yo, I had a personal experience with the Schumann resonance and we flatlined together one time and this is what happened. But unless that's you, okay, right? Question everything and everyone. Exactly. Come on. Who were the little kids that like in school you were like, I don't know. Did that really happen? Like, I feel like, because I was raised Christian, I feel like I was that little kid like in Bible school that was like, Something's off there. I don't know. This whole God thing that you're talking about, like JC, like I questioned everything. I'm so grateful that my parents encouraged that within me, right? They didn't encourage the like they encouraged like do what you're told. I was still a rambunctious child anyways, but they encouraged me to think for myself and definitely question, because there's lots of people who will definitely be out there manipulating you. We have social media, we have news, we have all of these things that we complain that manipulate us, and yet we don't take the time to do our own research on it. So here is my call to everybody. If you are a truth seeker, then take an extra 2.5 seconds to go either ask somebody who's smarter than you, or ask for resources, somebody they might know, or do your own research instead of being like the tabloid follower, right? Truth seeker, not tabloid follower. Can I get some hearts on that? Because if we don't, we're fucked. That's literally, it's like the telephone game that like went around in high school. I never went to public high school, but like junior high, anytime. Okay. It's like telephone game. And you hear it from one person and then they pass it on and then they pass it on. And it's like, then we're just mindless. That's not a conscious behavior. That's just mindlessly taking in information and then spitting it out. That is copy paste. Don't be a copy paste. Boo, you are an original. You are authentic. Be the unique version of you. And in order to be the unique version of you, do your own research. Use discernment. Anytime. And ask more questions. Ask more questions. Be like, really? How would that be possible? Schumann resonance flatlining for 52 hours. Like, if it seems outrageous, because the other thing, it was like attached to like some hashtags that are banned. Go Google banned hashtags. Okay. In my business, all the girls that I teach in business, because you can get shadow banned on your page by using banned hashtags. Hashtag Happy Thanksgiving. Don't ask why. Hashtag Miley Cyrus. Don't ask why. Hashtag Sun has been banned for 2 years. Hashtag workflow, because some idiots who want to put out sexual content inappropriately on these social media channels start putting it out under these hashtags. So then Instagram or these other platforms have to block the hashtag because it's been kicking out so much inappropriate content. So it's not necessarily a conspiracy. It's a trying to protect the underage children and all of us that don't want a bunch of like DPs, okay, on hashtag Sun and hashtag Happy Thanksgiving. That's why. Does that make sense? And I've fallen for some stuff, okay? I used to be so gullible. Oh my gosh. I was so like, oh, really? Wow. Because our honest side, like that version of us that is trusting, and I'm not saying don't trust people. Please hear me on that. That doesn't mean like go around be like, I shouldn't trust you. Just have an extra, okay, cool. Like, I hear you. Thank you. I'm going to go check for myself. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter who it is. Go Google banned hashtags. You'll see it for yourself. It's a whole list of banned hashtags since like 2017 or something like that. I don't know if that's an accurate year, but definitely at least the last 2 years from what I have researched. I didn't backtrack any more than that. I didn't have a desire to. All right, that's my rant. Okay. Give me some hearts if you are a truth seeker, not a tabloid follower, because right now, social media, be specific on who you're following and what they're saying. If it doesn't resonate with you, like do your inner meter check, right? And some people, it does resonate. That was the thing, is like some of the people saying this, I was like, oh, but your energy resonates. Like, I totally think you're a badass, but the information isn't accurate. So you can resonate with a person and still have the information be inaccurate. Does that, right? Like, that's okay. You can still like them. It doesn't make them a bad person. It's just like, yo, you're awesome, but information not accurate, right? So that's where we gotta do our own, because we trust the people that we resonate with. That's why I'm like, if I ever say anything, right? Even still, I'm like, if you don't resonate with what I have to say, cool, like no sweat. Like I speak from my experience, I speak from my education and expertise, and occasionally sometimes my opinion. Like this. I have an opinion that we should be more truth seekers than tabloid readers. If that doesn't resonate with you, all good, buddy. Like, cool. But those of you that do, like, you're my people. Yes, hearts. Yes, hearts. I knew that shit made 0 sense. Exactly. Like, that was where, like I said, it got me for a half a second. And then I was like, wait a second. Wouldn't we like float off? Like, wouldn't something gnarly happen? Like, legit Schumann resonance of the earth, like something major, and not like an earthquake major. I mean, like all of our particles would start to disintegrate or something bizarre. I don't know. That I'm making up. I don't know. But something, right? Something bizarre would happen. Had to read, yeah, something else going on with the wildfires. Yes. And something else about the color of the sun. Exactly. So, and there, okay. So there probably is tons of other stuff going on, other reasons why the wildfires are happening, other reasons why storms are happening, other reasons why, like, we're not going to get into politics. We're not going to go there. Okay. Because yes, we could go down that rabbit hole all day. And that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about truth, alignment, self-mastery, coming into like what feels safe and true and what feels like home. And that's the weird thing that I'm noticing, just to call it out. It's kind of like fast food, which it is kind of like a tabloid magazine. Okay. So like being real, like every once in a while, I'll get it. I'll go and get like a People or a Star Mag or something, like, right, that has nothing but trash drama. Has nothing but trash drama. There is no truth. Maybe 10% of it is true. I don't know, right? But it's literally purposely written to be and create drama. That's literally its purpose, to get the excitatory response systems happening within our brain, to have us have an emotional reaction. And when you have an emotional reaction, now you're susceptible to more programming and manipulation. That's the name of the game. Boom, right there. And that's my truth. That's what I've seen from experience. Take what resonates for you on that. Okay? Take what you will on that. That is what I believe. So the more that we are, like I said, it's kind of like fast food or like the tabloid magazines, there's this like appeal to it, right? Because it's sugary and it's addictive and it's got that like exciting energy because it's dramatic, right? So it literally is meant to activate and excite your like excitatory responses systems in your brain. That's 100% right. It's literally like heroin. That's what it's for. Boom. You're addicted now. So I'm noticing all of this like information. It's kind of like the tabloids. It's kind of like, that's what's cool to talk about. That's the exciting thing because it's dramatic. You share something that's really fucking important in the world. Nobody wants to hear about it. It's like the healthy food. It's like, yeah, I know that's like good for me. I know this is probably better, but like, oh, but it's not fast food because the fast food is just like so delicious and it's so dramatic and it's so much more exciting, don't you think? But like, I know this is more healthy for me. Like, I really do. But like, I think that's called addiction. That's literally, and that literally, if you've got to be between these two, there is choice. You got choice in everything. I'm never going to knock anybody for their choice. But what are you choosing? And what you choose more of is what you become more of. And that's what our world becomes more of. And if we give a flying fuck about the world that we're all looking at crumbling right now, and sometimes Kali energy's got to like, I'm going to say, just burn it down so we can rebuild it with integrity. So much love and hearts to every house and people dying that are literally burning down right now. Like, it's awful that we're there. It's awful. And yet, what are we choosing more of? Like, and if that's not exciting to think about, to want to be able to choose more of something that's healthy over something that is just short-lived. Ooh, it's intense. Ooh, it's exciting. But man, it's not sustaining like at all. So which one are we going to choose more of? And this conversation right here is probably not the popular conversation because you're never going to find it in a fucking tabloid. You're going to find it when you go home, when you know what's true. But you come here, that's what you're going to get. So don't ask for politics. Don't ask for all that drama. Do your own research. Feel into what resonates for you and ask everything. Question and ask everything. And then do your research on that. Because if we don't, what's going to happen? Watch The Social Dilemma. That was super interesting, right? And at the same time, I'm a huge fan of the possibilities that social media is allowing for us. And yet there's some responsibility that we have to be able to take with that. And that discernment, it's kind of up there with like that word responsibility, that will never be in the tabloid. Discernment and responsibility, those two words are not in a tabloid dictionary anywhere, right? Or glossary. Like they're just never there. And yet, where are my leaders? Where are my leaders? Each one of you is a leader. And what kind of leader do you want to be? I love you all. I love you all. So badass. Hang on. Best family Chris. Ban the sun. It is banned. You can't even search for #sun. You can't. But it's not because of a conspiracy theory that's happening right now. Okay, go look it up of Google, like banned hashtags. There's an article from like almost 2 years ago. It was like 1.5, 2 years ago or something like that. Yes, truth seekers and truth tellers. That's what's up. People are becoming desensitized to some of this stuff. Exactly. And that's fucking dangerous. That is dangerous. There is, I believe, an aspect of, because like if you keep eating McDonald's, you'll get desensitized to how much crap is in McDonald's. I'm totally calling that out, but like, let's be real. I don't think that that's any like news flash. You know what I mean? Pretty sure everybody knows that. But yeah, you absolutely get desensitized to it. It's kind of like any addiction. The more that you do it, the more you need more of it because your tolerance level goes up. Okay. I used to do tons of drugs. I'll be the first one to admit that. I know exactly how addiction works and I know what it does to the brain. And I have spent doing all of the self-mastery work to rewire my shit to not have that. But when I see it, I can recognize it from a mile away. And it's manipulative because it's always to serve a purpose. So we're not being our sovereign selves then. We are not thinking for ourselves. If we are manipulatable, is that a word? If we're able to be manipulated. I've been making up words. What if I started speaking like manipulatable, guys? It might be a word. I don't know. Okay. That wasn't like that. That wasn't my special topic in school. Yes, guys, for real. It's a real word. And by the way, it's banned on a hashtag. You can't even find it. All right. Yes, it's scary. Autopilot mode, 100%. Because so literally living a conscious lifestyle. Some people have asked me this. They're like, oh, is it so you're vegan? I believe that living a conscious lifestyle is, yes, some of have to do with eating healthy, but that means whatever you're eating for whatever's good for you. But mostly it's bringing it. I follow a lot of Jungian philosophy where it's bringing some of, not all. It's bringing the things that we are unaware when we're like zombies, just doing things unconsciously and then bringing them into conscious awareness so you become the conscious creator of your reality, so that you are choosing, because all of your power is in your choice. So if we just hear what anybody says and we just take what they say as like truth and face value, then are we really consciously choosing for ourselves? And if we can take that half a second, even if you totally trust them, even if you totally trust them, I totally trust my friend because I know his expertise in studying subtle energies of the earth. He was the first person that I thought of. Schumann resonance went down, flatline. Really? For 52 hours? Who can I ask that would be accurate? Oh, I have a good friend who actually studies this shit. It took me 2 hours. That's it. Not to do that, but I sent the message and then for him to reply and like, you know what I mean? Max. Oh girl, that is one of my favorite statements. Say it louder for the back. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. Who quoted that? Who quoted that? Somebody go Google that, because we need to talk about acknowledgement and giving credit where it's due. Yes. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. Anything. Anything. Maybe not everything, but definitely anything. Something. Yes. So is that resonating with you guys? So like, I just needed to rant that for a second. It's not even a rant. It's just just take a second and like ground into your body. Be your own leader. We are all, yes, you can learn from each other, but we should all be teaching each other to lead each other. Leaders leading. Leaders. There's no more followers. Even if you follow each other on Instagram, like stand for something good. Exactly. Stand for something true, but you would have to know what's true in order to stand for something true. Now, granted, you can have your truth because we have beliefs, but also, there's a little something called cognitive dissonance too. And there's some people that are holding real tight onto beliefs. Because if you believe, somebody else said this and I don't know who it is either, but like it goes something like, if you believe something long enough, right, then it does become your truth. And sometimes that's great. Sometimes that's great. When it comes to like believing in yourself, fuck yes. Believe that all day long until it becomes true if you don't believe it. 100%. But check everything else that you believe. Because sometimes we have beliefs that we take on from generations, from different things that like you don't necessarily, like you get to choose. But if we don't have that awareness to be like, wait a second, let me bring some consciousness to what I'm thinking about, to what I'm choosing, even if mom and dad make sure it's like that way, even if you're pastor, there you go, I'm going to say it anyway, okay? You choose. You are your own divine badass soul. We are meant to be guided, and ultimately it is always your choice. Always. That is a true leader who comes from a space of sovereignty, and not like royal sovereignty, like individual sovereignty, meaning you can choose consciously for yourself after discerning all of your different options. That's what sovereignty means. Bring that to your relationships. Bring that to your business. Bring that to who you watch on social media. And we don't have to be a bitch about like calling anything out, but it's just like, excuse me, find a way. That's not accurate. Love you. Super cool. But that particular aspect is not accurate. Here's what I found. Now, granted, not everybody's going to do that because everybody's so hyped up on their own fucking opinion that they think everybody who's trying to bring any information thinks it's going to be an argument. We're getting there. We're getting there. If we can bring some conscious communication to a room where it is not triggering, right? But please go watch that documentary because it shows just how everyone sort of is in their own little bubble and they're receiving their own information. And that is what is telling them what is true. And they don't even know. You don't even know. Like, it was even more eye-opening for me. We are getting programmed every single day. We're literally getting programmed. I have it's a smart news app that my friend told me about, and it literally has prompts where it's like, for you, must read. Because it's listening to my conversations and it's like, here, you'll probably want to read this. So on one level, that's awesome. On the other level, my phone is listening to me for the purpose to sell me more things or give me more information that I would like. So I'm like, that's cool. And I still want to be able to choose. So I don't always click on the what's prompted for me to listen to, right? That's when people drop into victim mode, 100%. We're working on that too, right? Are we not working on that collectively, getting out of victim mode? We're still going to have it because we're human and we're so conditioned for victim mode. We are so conditioned ever since we were babies and watched our first Disney movie. So conditioned, especially women. Okay. It has been majority. See if this resonates for you. The majority of the feminine has been programmed to operate as the victim, feminine energy. Okay. So whether you are man or woman, feminine energy. And then the masculine is the more dominant or the manipulator, the hero or the whatever, right? I want to be a hero too. Actually, no, I don't want to be a hero because that's in the triangle. You guys have worked with me. You know what I'm talking about. You don't want to be a hero. That being said, you need to be the observer of all of it. So getting out of the victim when we have been so programmed for that. It is literally deep within our subconscious. So it is like climbing over a mountain to get out of that reprogramming. It is one of my greatest fulfillments to be doing that self-mastery work with people. And those of you who have worked with me, you know how badass it is to get out of that programming. You know it. And I know it. I was there too, 100%. So the feminine energy has been pre-programmed to be more often than not the victim energy. So now we're finding that like rising out, the divine feminine energy. Teely, Leanne, we were both talking about this. Like the divine feminine energy is rising because that is the heart energy. That's the nurture. That's the creative energy. That's the like, hey, where do we find this sort of collective communication energy, right? That's all the like, she needs the masculine. We still need the masculine, okay? We cannot villainize the masculine either. That's not what that means. So power to the feminine does not mean now suppression of the masculine. Let's just get that super clear. It's an integration. It's a collaboration. It's a working together for real. Yes. Poor me, all of that stuff. Is there some gnarly shit happening? Yes. Are there victims? Yes. Everybody has a story, but you don't have to be defined by your story. Especially every time when we do personal branding and business, and it's like, yes, get in touch with your story. What is your story? But do not keep replaying it from the victim perspective. Everybody has a story that deserves to be told, but where are you telling your story from? Where are you continuing to believe your story from? Is it from hey, I'm on the other side of it, and now I feel like a sovereign badass that I consciously create my own reality, and oh yeah, that was my story? Or is it like, this is my story, and then I still experience it, and then you're in it and speaking from it? Doesn't matter. What do you mean? Balance, baby. Come on. It's all inside of us. Yes, it is. Let's see. Old program does jive with the new what? Central processing unit? of the inner self? What are you talking about? The CPU of the inner self? Old program does jive, or you mean doesn't jive with the new CPU, central processing unit? Is that what you mean? Like our inner programming? Yes. We got some programs we got to delete. The whole world. And some of those are crumbling right now. And it's going to look chaotic. Absolutely. So we can't get like caught up in all of it. We got to see like through it and beyond it. And not believe everything. There is always a story under the story, which is so fascinating to me. Have you guys ever heard the statement? I know you have. There's always 3 sides to every story. You know how we say that in relationships, right? It's like somebody breaks up and then like one is telling their version of the story and then the other is telling their version of the story to their friends, and both are villainizing each other. Usually that's what happens unless they're like conscious about their own process. And then there's the truth. Right? What is it? His, hers, and the truth. There's always 3 sides to every story. Why does everybody forget that? Why do we forget that? We either see only our perspective or somebody else only sees their perspective, and that's the only place that we're at, and we forget, oh shit, but there's the truth. And if we could both get out of our own individual stories, then maybe the truth would be able to be received. But you would have to get out of your own story for that, wouldn't you? People would have to get out of the right wrong game for that, wouldn't they? People would have to get out of the victim, villain, blame game, though, for that in order to see the truth. People would have to get out of left, right in order to see what else would be possible. Oh, I went there a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all I'll say about that. But there is always a third, potentially more, but minimum, there is always a third version to a story. Who resonates with that one? The third side we see after. I know. Isn't that very interesting and convenient? The third side you don't see until you pull your ego out of your ass. That's what happens. Sorry, no filter today. I have done so many videos and sessions today that like I am just talking. You're so inspiring. Okay, awesome. Oh, that's Nicholas. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. Thank you, love. Like I said, I won't get into because you know what? It's like that's what I'll say. That's why it's not about politics right now, because there's a third side to the story. In case y'all didn't get that part. Yes, you're laughing at me. Okay. Oopsie. Your side, his side, and then the truth. Exactly. Yeah, and isn't it fascinating? We always forget that. Everybody's so quick to be like, they did this, da-da-da, and then the other says like, they did that, blah, blah, and it's like, probably neither one is true. Or some of it might be true, but some of it might be exaggerated. People who don't do proper healing work like to exaggerate, and then they like to villainize the other person. I don't know what that face was. Like I said, I'm delirious. Okay. You love the no filter tonight? Thank you. As my contacts are drying out and I can't see anything. It's been a great day. We did the I can't even talk right now. We did the Confidence for Camera Challenge. This was my day. Confidence for Camera Challenge, 10 a.m. Noon membership group coaching. Then I had another call for business, and then I did some other stuff for business and a bunch of emails. And then I was in the group and writing to people, doing a bunch of stuff for that. And then we did the 5 p.m. watch party for the challenge. I think I might have taken a nap today. I may have. I don't remember. And then we have Soul Circle tonight. So it's been an amazing day, very exciting day. And yes, I researched some stuff on the Schumann resonance and how that will never flatline, ever. Okay, how about we do some cards? Let's see what the cards say. Let's see. We're doing Sacred Rebel. I'll do a couple for the Golden Path, but because I was like, where is my sacred? I was like really feeling into it. So and I couldn't find it. So if you guys don't remember my Sacred Rebels deck, it feels very appropriate for today. Yes. Hold the phone. Drink more water. Put some aloe vera in your water. Drink more water. The air here in California, it's like, oh, and it's in my sinuses and everything. And I know that it's worse many, many, many other places. So, cordyceps is really good for, it's a mushroom. So if you can take mushrooms, if you're not allergic to mushrooms, taking cordyceps, that's really good for chest and lung stuff as well. That was really, I need to make sure that I take some of that stuff. Yeah, I can really feel it in the air. Okay. Whoo, boy, what do we got tonight? We had 2 jumpers, and I'll pull 3. Hang on. Don't drop it, Sarah. Hang on. I got it. Okay. Total rebellion, question everything. Yes. It's like, what was one of the things, I said this jokingly, okay, but I'll say it again, because I know, so hear me clearly on this, okay? Because hear the full aspect of this. That's what I'm going to ask. We were talking about judging things, right? And so, yes, on one hand, we know that judgment, not so healthy, right? We know this. And yet, right now, it's almost like we need to like kick up a little bit of judgment, little bit, to judge the things that we see and hear right now. So it doesn't mean be an asshole and be a judgy judger, but it means quietly perceive and don't take everything at face value. Judge it a little bit, enough to have it go and be like, oh, maybe I should like look at it like, I don't know. No, is that true? Like judgment, discernment, a little bit. Thank you, Colleen. Yes, cards. Oh, wow. This is the Sarah's been talking, and the air is crap here. Okay. Yes, discernment. Yes, discernment. Did we forget? Did we forget about discernment? It's sometimes it's a nasty lesson. Oh. Yeah. I remember the first, it's like, oh, I get it now. I get why we use discernment now. So you don't fall for everything. Don't we do that in relationships? We need more discernment in relationships. Don't take just anything. Just don't take the words that people say, right? Follow actions, not the words, because words can be full of shit, or they disappear, or people lie, or people do manipulate, or because they want, like, whatever. Like, discerning, we use that in our relationship, or sometimes we forget to use that in our relationships. So let's bring that back, okay? Season of discernment. Let's make that a fashion statement, okay? For winter, fall and winter. That's just what I'm saying. And follow your own rhythm. This is the sovereign. This is your independence. This is like that version of you that is like listening to others to learn from them. Like if you're learning something right now, awesome. I love that you guys follow me, but you're not my followers. Do you understand? You are your own leader. My goal is nothing more than to empower you as your own level of leadership. And hopefully you would then do the same for somebody else. In order to do that, you got to follow your own rhythm. You got to not be a copy. That means don't just copy some bullshit that you heard from somebody else without doing your own research, because then you're not following your own rhythm. You're following their rhythm. So if you hear something and then it resonates, but then still decipher it within you, there's so many people that like copy messages from each other. It's happening more now than ever. I even see people who copy like blatant stuff and then use it as their own. You are not meant to come down here to be a copy, babies. No, you are your own unique badass. One of the reasons why, like when doing like the business stuff, it's like creating your own system on how you're teaching, getting in touch with like you and who you are individually that sets you apart for everybody else, your energy, your vibe, your rhythm that is different. You could be saying similar things if it resonates as truth for you, but as long as you just take it and then copy it and then paste it out your mouth to other people, you're not living in alignment with your authentic self. You're living in alignment with the copied version of somebody else because you think that that's better. So getting in touch with, well, what is it that you think that your badass uniqueness isn't good enough to like run with your own rhythm? Like your song is badass. If somebody don't like your music, then they're just not your jam. But find your own rhythm and speak from there, not just because some Joe Schmo said it. Yes? Follow your own rhythm. And it even says follow. Lead from, follow your own rhythm and lead from your own rhythm. Same thing. Oh, Catherine, yes. Oh, this. Yes. 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 No more followers. Like, genuinely engage, follow each other for mutual respect and honoring, knowing that you are your own badass rhythm and nobody can be you. So don't try to be anybody else, because also nobody can be them. And if they're saying some stuff that's like not intelligent, you really don't want to be them. You really don't. And there's an integrity there. Where did the word integrity? That should be another one. Can we add that one into the glossary of like the season of fall and winter? You know, where did integrity go? Do we remember what the definition of integrity is, and not just the saying of integrity, not just the speaking? Don't just copy the word and then paste and like integrity because that sounds like a good idea. Like, what does it mean for you to have integrity with yourself and who you are up to being in the world? What does integrity mean for you? Like, legit, what does that word mean as a being? Authenticity sticks. Yes, you can't have authenticity. You can't have integrity without authenticity. You can't have integrity without authenticity. You can't have either without the either. Authenticity sticks, the rest will fall. I learned that from Sarah. Oh, awesome. Did I say that? I love you, girl. I'm so inspired by what you're creating in the world, babe. Okay, living from your own truth, honesty, being our conscious self. Yes. Because if you're not conscious about who you're being, then who are you being? Just a thought. Okay, so I know I said the word judgment. We did get the free from judgment, free to love. And yet I am going to stand a little bit of like, we need judgment in the sense of question everything. That is what we need. But when we get in like the negative version of judgment, then yeah, there's no love there. There's no love there. So if we're in that space, then we're not in a place of love. I have seen more people. I am going to judge 100%. I am going to observe. It is my observation that I have seen more people who have spoken so much about love and light and connection and communication and blah, 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 literally just fall off the handle during this time. Lose their shit or just start berating people and argue. Like, come on, really? Like, come on. This is not high school. Come on. Free to love. Come on. Cheesy? Stitch it on every fucking pillow. Like, it's not hard, right? Do you guys feel like it's hard to love? Do you feel like it's hard to love? No, what is that? Quan yourself? Know yourself? Is that what you mean? I'm sorry. I'm feeling a little dyslexic with my dry contact. I feel like you're saying know yourself before and how you work before somebody says that to you. I know I'm having a hard time with that one, but I'm just, yes. Yes. Okay. I got it. Okay. Good. Needing more discernment and less righteousness. Ooh, that's a good word. That's a good word. Stitch that shit on a pillow. Because I always say that because it's like, I feel like whenever we talk about love now, it's like so over talked about. It's just like everything's love. Like I feel like that's almost the undertone of it. That now it's like it has this like lack of meaning and lack of depth. Or people think that then, oh, it's just bypassing or something like that. And I'm like, no. It's not the hallmarked version of stitched on a pillow. But if we need to see it everywhere because somehow like the truest essence of what love means seems to be going away. And that's just an observation. Call it a judgment if you want. So where can we reconnect and get back in touch with that? We got to know what it means first. Two things. We got to know what love means, just like you got to know what integrity means, and you got to know why you want it. Nothing happens without why. Nobody does anything unless they have a reason why they're doing it. Nothing. So if we're lacking in integrity, if we're lacking in love, if we're lacking in discernment, we don't have a reason why. And yet sometimes it takes the state of the world to go into upheaval to have a really good reason why we might need to get back in touch with discernment and sovereignty and awareness and integrity and love and all of those things, but the truest definition of them, not just the stitching them on a pillow. Like, what the fuck does it mean for you? What does it mean as a behavior, as a doing? Because again, words are so cheap. They're so cheap. They mean nothing if we don't follow it with behavior and action. That's literally like you walk in your talk or not. Are we walking our talk or not? And I'm going to say we as a collective, because I will hold that space as like our culture. Like, what are we doing with our, what culture right now? Like, what culture? I don't know. What culture do we have right now? Society is made up of culture. Where is the state of our culture right now? Yes. And all of that intensity at the same time, like loosen it the fuck up and have a little bit more fun, despite, yes, what's going on in the world, 100%, but lighten it up. There's some people who need to take an energetic poll out there. Okay. Ooh. The wise owl says, be the hunter, not the hunted. this has so much, we haven't done these cards in such a long time. I feel like this has so much more meaning right now to be the hunter, not the hunted. You are either getting manipulated, hunted. You are hunted down. You know what they're hunting? You know what's being hunted by people, like straight up for real, and see if this resonates? You know what's really being hunted right now? Your attention, most importantly, your adrenaline. That's what's being hunted right now. The emotional charge of all the intensity every time you open a tabloid or you engage in something that's fear or intense or whatever. Like, your adrenaline is fucking food that is being hunted. Does that sound weird? It should. That's the highest currency that is more valuable to some than gold. Because what that means is then you're the prey. You're prey. That means you're not in control of your own. You're not, if you're not consciously aware, you're not in control. If you're not bringing awareness to how you are being hunted, that's why it's be the hunter. It doesn't mean turn into the asshole that then preys off of other people's emotion and negative adrenaline, but it means be on the other side of the barrel, metaphorically. Ooh, metaphorically. I feel like I got to be real super careful about what I say. Okay, so you guys heard me on that, right? Using the metaphor of the hunting, you hear me on that? Okay, because there's a lot of things going down, and okay, I feel like I don't need a disclaimer on that statement. Okay. Be the hunter, be aware, be observant, be the wise owl that can see during the day and at night when shit gets dark. Don't be the hunted, because then you're prey. That's the victim. That's the victim. That's when you're manipulated. And if you're being manipulated, then they can feed you whatever they want to. You're at the mercy. You're like you're prey. No power. Let's not do that. How about we not do that? Thank you. But no. So all the more reason to check absolutely everything. But don't get caught up in the drama of it. I have been saying that from the very beginning of when this all started. Because when you understand, like reprogramming all the things that we're so conditioned to that are like addictions, when you understand how that works and you've been in that practice work for such a long time, then you can start seeing the things that are set up as traps to get you locked into like an emotional program or like an emotional attachment with something. It's like a really toxic relationship. That's literally what it is. And it gets you because it tugs at your heart. That's when it gets you. All the more reason to have mastery over your emotions. Because if you're getting swayed emotionally, not in power. If you can let something sway you so easily, either in your thoughts, your beliefs, or your emotions, you're manipulatable. Is that a word yet? Seriously, though, manipulatable. You're easily manipulated. I'm going to Google it. Oh, do we need another platform other than Google now too? Okay. Bold vision. Yes, wow. I love you. You make my Tuesdays. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. Bold vision, not just vision. First, you got to get to the vision. First, you got to get to like, wait a second, I need to see a bigger picture. That's just vision. Bold vision is like, ooh, go against the grain. Be the one bold enough to call something out that's inaccurate. When we feel strong enough in who we are, when we're bold enough in who we are, and you won't feel that way unless you've done that self-mastery to be like, nope, I know my truth. I don't fall for just anything. When you feel so aligned with that in the highest version of you, that's when your like bold self can come out. And that's when then you see a bigger vision of what's possible for you and the rest of the world. Because you're not seen from in the situation, you're seen from above the situation. A true leader sees every perspective from about 30,000 feet. And then takes action from there without the pull on, oh, should I or shouldn't I, or is this right or not right, because you know your truth. Yes, hearts on that. So it's not just vision. We need vision to create a future, but we need a bold vision. So again, if you're in the middle of it, if you're getting swayed by different people's beliefs and thoughts and like emotions and all of this stuff because you don't have that level of alignment and self-mastery and owning your shit and an alignment with the highest version of you that isn't based on any other beliefs other than your conscious connection to the highest absolute consciousness. Not your spirit guides, not like any other thing other than just direct channeled alignment. And if that direct channeled alignment doesn't activate and hit from and come from within your heart, then you won't access the truest, boldest vision. You won't be able to see the big picture of what's actually fucking happening right now. The third truth or the third perspective of the story, the third side to the story, which is the truth, not the his or the her, but the truth. The truth can only be seen from 30,000 feet outside of beliefs, cognitive dissonance, copycat, and all of the other fucking bullshit. Outside of all of that, outside of programs, outside of victim mentality, any beliefs. If you have any beliefs that you didn't consciously choose yourself, that don't have fear attached, ooh, that's a big one. Ooh. Because some beliefs we think are true, but it's like, oh no, but I'm going to go to hell if I don't. That's fear attached. That's a straight shot to hell. That doesn't exist because it's a place within your consciousness, not an actual place. Just saying. In my belief. So whatever resonates for you. Why is the devil a dude? Why is God a dude? Where's she at? Where's she at? Just saying. So if there are any beliefs that are rooted in any way, rooted in fear, you will not be able to access the highest consciousness that you are, that your soul is capable of, in which case, bold vision, not possible. 30,000 feet, not possible. Truth, not possible. Give me some hearts if that resonates for you. No hell, it's here. Hell is where we make it. Some people are so in hell within themselves because they're so in their fear and they hold on to those beliefs as if they're going to go to some place called hell with some dude. Yeah, that and the Schumann frequency flatlined for 52 hours. I laugh because we make up so many stories with so many stories, and then we believe them. And we forget that we don't have to believe them. That we can just say, oh, I can let that go and I can choose something else. But ooh, if there's cognitive dissonance, that's not going to happen so much. Such an amazing time. Exactly. Yes. And yet some people still believe that. And if that's okay, cool. How's that working for you? If it's working, cool, buddy. If it's not, we need to find, again, if it's in this dualistic, like, again, 3 sides to every story. So are we the seekers of the truth side to the story? Not the this version or this version, not the left or right version, but the truth side of the story. Are we the truth seekers of that? Some people are, some people aren't. And both are okay, but both have very different realities. And what world will each one create? I personally want to live in the truth seeker reality. That's just what I like to create for myself. Not everybody wants to be there because it's like, oh, you see behind the veil and then you really see all the shit that goes down. And sometimes that can be like, oh, shit. Not everybody wants to see that. Some people want to stay in the matrix. There was a line from that Social D thing. It was like, how do you know you're in the matrix? How do you, like, something like, how do you know you're in the matrix if you don't know you're in the matrix? Something like that. Oh my gosh, my sinuses, this air is crazy. We got to stop this so that we can all holding the space for it, holding the bold vision for it. We need more people holding bold vision for what's possible, because otherwise it's kind of like a goal. Like if you don't have a goal, like it doesn't get created. You know what I mean? So if we're not holding bold vision, then like what the fuck are we doing? And what's going to happen? To see that is to take responsibility for our lives. Yes, it is. But if you want power, personal power, confidence, not egoic, like if you want to like feel into being like that just most amazing, highest loving version of you, yeah, you got to take responsibility. And to me, I don't think that that's scary because it doesn't have to be hard. But if we haven't learned the tools, because it's not something that's taught every day, then for some, it's a concept that's foreign. And just like anybody who's growing, right? Like that's why we have grades. Like you've got kindergarten, junior high, right? And then high school, and then college, and then advanced school beyond college. Like, so it's just where each level you're at. And it has to be a personal desire. Not everybody has a personal desire for personal growth. Not everybody does. If we did, man, could you imagine how badass our world would be? Can you imagine how easy talking to each other would be? Can you imagine how much like more fun our relationships would be able to be? All relationships, friendships, like they're all, yes, fun, but like how much more fun they could be. Like, just what is that bold vision? Like, what would you guys, I would love to hear. I would really honestly love to hear. Please share with me, genuinely, honestly, what would you guys love to be able to see happen for your relationships, for your life? Like, what is that thing that your heart is like, oh, if we could do this? What is you from bird's eye view, looking at everything going down and your relationships, your intimate relationships, like what? I would love to know, what is that thing that you would love to be able to see possible? Go bold. Go high vision. What do you want to see? Why does it have to be so hard? It's not hard. Exactly. So what, you want to be able to see it be easier? Would that be amazing? What would it be? What would it be? I want to see. I want to see. Again, same conversation you had with someone tonight. Good. Love that. Have those conversations. Spread them. Have more of them. Accepting what is, flowing, not resisting. Awesome. Awesome. I created a technique called Mastering Masculine and Feminine Alchemy so that you can literally release any internal resistance that you have, so you can literally access all of the points to become that whole version and highest version of you. Because all we have is like these versions of ourselves that we're just in resistance to. That's what lack of confidence really is. No hidden agenda. Great. I guess the world that comes close to my vision is wholesomeness. Oh, I like that. That feels yummy. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a tabloid at all. My boss happy. Okay. Love that. No hidden agenda. Boom. Okay. Not dependent by another person or behavior to be happy. Girl, you can have access to that right now. Right now. You have 100% access to that right now. What else? I like this. This is so fun. In order to do all of that, can you guys see it? Look at the inner workings. I will show you guys. Look at the inner working. Go beyond normal. It says, look at all the gears. Look at all the thoughts. Look at their buttons too, with a giant gold light bulb. That looks like thoughts and ideas and visions coming from the higher consciousness, maybe. Do you guys see that? Those are little buttons. She looks like such a badass. And what's really cool is she's holding, I love skeleton keys. Those are some of my favorites. I used to collect them when we traveled around Europe, because we would go to like all these places that had like legit skeleton keys to like open the doors. So I would take the keys. I just became obsessed with skeleton keys. She's literally holding a skeleton key in her mouth. You know what that means? It means that we are the ones who hold the key to unlocking all of the shackles that hold us down, that hold us in our false version of ourselves, that hold us out of confidence, that hold us like into old behaviors and beliefs. Like, we have the key to unlock it. Nobody else is holding that key. It's in her mouth. We each have our own skeleton key. And at the same time, what balls and chain are shackled around our ankles that we're dragging along with us, and how heavy are those? And if we only knew that the key was in our pocket. Sometimes somebody's got to teach you how to unlock those shackles off of your ankles, so then you can walk lighter and more free and in alignment with the higher version of yourself. Yes. Yes, hearts. I love it. I love the hearts. You guys are so badass. I said I would pull one shuffle, one card. You guys still with me? That was not a good shuffle, Sarah. call it. You guys still with me? I got to stop talking too, because I still got challenge tomorrow. 10 a.m. bright and early. If you guys are not in Confidence for Camera Challenge, you can still catch up if you want to. Oh, come on. This needs no explanation. Can you see it? Oh, man. It says wisdom. We got this one last week, I think, too. I know the lights are bright and it doesn't. Can you see it? There you go. Maybe. I believe that wisdom is the walking your talk. Like true wisdom is when, like, you can know something, you can have a concept, you can understand it. But true wisdom is the full embodiment of it, the practicing of it. It's the being of it. That's when you're truly wise with knowledge or information or whatever. That is my personal definition. Find what your own definition of wisdom is. But I believe that when we all harbor the doingness of that and how we're showing up and treating each other, and that's going to take our own responsibility to getting over our own inner shit. Everybody. 100%. But that's when true wisdom happens. And that's when true shift and change happens. And that's when we as people stand up for more of what we want in the world, as the things that are out of integrity crumble. And sometimes they, like, that's Kali energy. Kali, do you guys know Kali? The goddess Kali, just using as the archetype. I feel like she gets a bad rap because she is fire, she's intensity, and she will burn away anything that doesn't have integrity. But she gets a bad rap because she's got that sort of death and destruction, metaphorically, sometimes literally. But I say that with like a heavy heart in what's going on in the world. And yet at the same time, she is also the Kali, got it? Like, she has two versions. She is also the deepest, most nurturing mother essence. She is so loving to build up and empower. So we have two sides that are happening. We have destruction of what is non-integral, metaphorically, and watching certain things happen in order for the rebuild. But we've got to be able to rebuild from integrity. And in order to rebuild from integrity, we kind of got to know what that means for us individually. So I'd love, like, look up integrity tonight. Like, literally just look up the definition and then like write it down in a notebook what your definition of integrity is and what that would look like as a behavior, like in the doingness of it. What does integrity mean and what does it look like? Resonating. Can't wait to read about her. Shakti and Shiva is the masculine and feminine. That's why all of these, they're archetypes. But archetypes are aspects of our psyche. So whether you take it as, like, you know, however you want to take it, right? I'm more spiritual than religious, but I look at all of these aspects as archetypes, right? Anything that has a sort of masculine gender or feminine gender to it is a, I'm going to say, in my opinion, is they're gods, right? They're archetypes. So if it has a gender attached to it, then it's just an archetype of which we associate with our psyche, right? There's a part of our psyche that can align with that. So to me, I like to focus on what I call source, or highest consciousness. I don't even know really what to call it because it's outside of a gender. Because that to me is the fullest, wholest, highest essence of something. Because if you're going to give something a gender, then you're going to automatically put it as to something lower or less than, because a gender, right? Like, like man is just man. A woman is just woman. Creator, like source, that is like the everything, that is the highest level that I believe created all of this. I believe that's an embodiment of the masculine and the feminine, because a creator, by definition, women are creative. Feminine essence is creative, is creator energy, right? So if you're going to say creator, you might have to have a little bit more on the feminine side, but then it's got to have that seed, that spark, right? That activation, which is the masculine side. So for me, this is just feel what resonates for you. Being a truth seeker, I search for that sort of apex point where things come together that don't have a limited or have a limitation definition to it, right? To me, a gender automatically makes that a limitation. So if it is a masculine or a feminine, with as much as these are gods, right? Gods are masculine, goddesses are feminine, but that's still a lower, it's still going to be an archetype. It can't possibly be the highest, because the highest level of source consciousness, that is the creator of everything, in my opinion, would have to have both. It wouldn't be so small to be a gender. Like, that would be so limiting, right? One or the other. It wouldn't be just feminine. It wouldn't just be masculine. It would have to be everything. So for us to connect to that wholeness, the fullest version, that is the highest level of, I don't know, source, oneness, unity, consciousness, again, if it's got a gender, like, it's got to be a lower energy. It can't be the highest, because it's a gender. Does that make sense? Does that resonate with you guys? You're saying something in a language that I don't understand. Yes, outside of duality, without duality. Exactly. Because the minute that we go into duality, we automatically, and you guys know what I mean by lower, right? It's not the highest. It's not a judgment. It's just like, okay, if we are in duality, then that's a split energy. It's not the whole version, right? Such a good way to put it. Makes sense. Okay, cool. Jessica, definitely. Okay, cool. These are just the things that show up in my meditation when I say, please show me truth. Please show me the highest vision, so that I might be able to follow outside of duality, outside of, right? Just where is the ultimate level of truth and highest consciousness and source. That has always been like my soul's and heart's mission. Like, don't give me this bullshit duality stuff. Yes, we're here on this planet. We live in duality plenty. Awesome. Thank you. Like heaven, hell, duality. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, real, like, the devil is a dude? What? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. So if we're going to put a masculine or a feminine gender, then we just lowered the definition of creatorness, consciousness, highest consciousness. Awesome. I love the hearts on that. Okay. I'm going to drink some tea on my voice now. I got early day for confidence for I'm having so much fun. Oh my God. I love everybody who's in this challenge. I'm so inspired by the people that are like showing up to play and have fun, so that then they can be the leaders to sharing their voice. And that makes me so inspired. And I'm just having a blast. It's really like so fun. And Nicholas, and you're still here and you're in the challenge, and I'm so loving your videos. I'm loving everybody's videos. So badass. All right. I love you all. I'm Sarah Delane, the Conscious Lifestylist. I help you to have healthy relationships by learning self-mastery skills. And I help you get in touch with your purpose so that you can build a really successful, profitable, badass online business as the authentic version that your soul wants to express yourself as and to be. If you guys ever have any questions, please DM me. Don't hesitate. I answer them. I love you guys. Yes, hearts. Yes. This is Soul Circle, Tuesdays, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We've been doing it for almost 4 years, you guys, every Tuesday. I love each one of you that show up, and the newbies and the OGs. Love you too. Thank you for supporting the leaders. Vote, you are one. Let's go. Hi from Hermosa. Sammy, you're in the challenge too. Love it. Love your videos. All right. I love you guys so much. I will see you next week. Hi, Leanne. All right. Bye, loves. Bye, YouTube.